I've bought quite a few things for my Steam Deck. Lots of them have not been great. Like this bag. The Steam Deck didn't fit in there. Or this fan. It's not a cooling fan, it's just a fan. It looks kind of dumb though, I guess. And this, I don't know what this is. Why the heck did I buy this? But despite all the stuff that I bought that I shouldn't have, there are a few things that I've bought that have really enhanced my experience with the deck. And today I'm going to show you them, how they work, and tell you which ones that I recommend and which ones that I don't. Hello, I'm TechDweeb. Hi, how you doing? Today we're talking about the Steam Deck. Based on what I heard online, I was expecting the Steam Deck to kinda change my life in a big way. It has changed my life, but not in a big way. In a small way. I mean, it's still the same life. The same sad, empty life. Full of missed opportunities. Full of wasted potential. Full of regrets. None of that stuff has changed, except now I can play PC games in my bathtub, which is a change worth celebrating, but I'm still waiting for the Steam Deck magic to take root and elevate my life to a higher transcendent level that one could not achieve without a Steam Deck. But for now, I'm having a great time with the Steam Deck. At first, it was feeling a bit sad on its own. I felt like I wasn't using it to its full potential, so almost immediately I started buying stuff to make my experience more better. I don't have everything that I'll eventually have for the Steam Deck. There's definitely a few other things that I want to get, but I've collected quite a few things that have really made the Steam Deck feel much more complete, and I'm excited to show them to you. By the way, I'll include links to all these products in the description below if you'd like to pick any of them up. Most of these will be affiliate links, so if you use those links, you'll be supporting the channel. And there's a generic Amazon link down there too. If you want to use that link to shop on Amazon in general, I'll get a little bonus every time you buy something. Anything, even like toilet paper or home pregnancy tests. It doesn't make your stuff more expensive, it's just a magical thing that happens on the internet, and it's a way to help out the creators that you like. And if I'm one of those, then thank you if you choose to use those links. Okay, enough with the sales pitch. Let's get on to the stuff, shall we? Let's start with the first thing that I bought. A MicroSD card. I have the 512 gigabyte version of the deck, but even still I wanted to get myself a nice big SD card for extra game storage. I chose this Silicon Power 1 terabyte superior MicroSD card. Silicon Power is a brand that I'm very familiar with. I've used many of their SSDs in PCs that I've built, and they've always struck me as products that offer really good performance for the price. This SD card has been great. It's a UHS Speed Class 3 A2 microSD, and it performs perfectly. I tested this when I got it, and it has great speeds. It's pretty much the exact same speeds as my Samsung Evo Plus. I mean, it's an SD card. It's not complicated. If you're looking for an SD card, I think you'll be happy with this one too. I think every good Steam Deck needs a dock. It's like I always say, a deck without a dock is like a dog without a dock. I wanted a cheap one, and I researched every cheap dock out there and settled on this one. The JSO 5-in-1 Steam Deck dock. This was like 30 bucks, and it's nice looking, nicely built, with all the I/O that I wanted. It has one HDMI 2.0 hole. It has 3 USB-A holes, so I can connect a keyboard, mouse, and external hard drive all at the same time with nice fast data transfer. One USB-C hole for charging, and an Ethernet port. I do have my house all wired up, and this has been a big help in transferring files fast, especially using Steam's ability to share game data locally from other PCs on your network when you're downloading games. Overall, this deck has exceeded my expectations, and I find that I use it for lots of my devices now. Any device that allows for USB-C video and inputs you can use with this dock. It's only 30 bucks. Not bad, right? Let's move on to my controller. I have a few controllers, but the one that I love using with the deck is the Steam controller. It works so well with the deck. All of the Steam game profiles that allow custom controls that take advantage of the deck's gyro and trackpads with haptic feedback, they all work perfectly with the Steam controller. I've had the Steam controller for ages. I got it back when it was launched. It's my favorite controller for PC games, and on the Steam Deck, it's a buttery smooth, seamless experience. You can't buy the Steam controller anymore. Valve stopped making them, which I think is a mistake. I hope they revisit the Steam controller someday and make a new version because it's the most unique and versatile controller that I've ever used. If you want one, you'll have to check Facebook Marketplace or eBay, but they're around. You can find them at reasonable prices. It's not for everyone, but it's my personal favorite. This one is pretty basic, but it's actually been a godsend. I used to love this Anchor SD card reader, but I learned that this company has a new version, and this one has USB-C and USB-A connections. I can use this to transfer data from my SD cards and microSD cards to the deck without needing to swap the one that I have in the SD card slot on the deck. I'm playing around with EmuDeck, and I use this to add my ROMs. I just grab them off my Miu Mini SD card and copy them to the SD card that lives on my deck. Also, I can use this in my PC to transfer stuff and flash SD cards. You can even transfer files from one microSD card to another directly on this device if you use a microSD to SD card adapter. That's actually crazy useful. It really sucks to have issues with copying data or losing your data or an image flash or whatever, and then you don't know if it was the dinky card reader in your laptop or the SD card you used or what. I just think everybody should have a good SD card reader, and this one is my current favorite, and I use it with my Steam Deck. Next up, let's go with my carrying case. For this, I actually have two things that I use, both by TomTalk. I bought the hardshell case on Amazon because Russ at Retro Game Corp said that he liked it, and I buy everything that he tells me to buy. And I had their Switch Lite case for my INEO Air, and I love that product, so I was pretty sure the hardshell TomTalk case was the deck case for me. But then the company, TomTalk, they reached out to me to ask me if I'd like to test some of their products. Freaking nuts, right? When the universe just gives you exactly what you need. So I said yes, obviously, and I canceled my order from Amazon, and then a few days later, this arrived, the case and the bag. Let's start with the case. It's a perfectly tight fit for the deck. It's a hard shell case, so it's super protective, and it's very slim. It doesn't hold any of your accessories. It's just a protective shell for the deck itself, which I love. That's my preference, actually. The big Steam Deck case that comes with the deck is just too big to be able to toss it in my tech bag, and I also love the look of it. It's very simple and classy. So that's the one thing. And the second thing is this bag. It's a sling bag made specifically to hold the Steam Deck. It could hold other stuff if you didn't have a Steam Deck or wanted to use it for other stuff, but it has some unique features that make it perfect for the deck. So the way this works is there's some padding on the backside, and then you slide the deck in there and you put the strap down to hold it snug, and then you can put whatever accessories you have in this front part. And there's even a separate zippered front pocket for jelly beans. With this bag, you don't need a case. At first, I thought I'd be putting the deck in the hardshell case and then putting that into this bag, but no, the deck fits better and is totally safe and protected just in the bag itself. I'm super happy with both of these products, and it was super cool of TomTalk to send these to me. So obviously, there's links to where you can buy these in the description below. Since we're talking about things that were sent to me, let's talk about this stuff. This power bank and charger was sent to me by SharGeek. They were like, hey, do you want to check out our power banks and charger? And I was like, yeah, sure, send it to me, and if I like it, I'll include it in a video. But I had no idea how much I'd freaking love these things. Let's start with the charger because it's an easy one. First of all, look at it. It's a retro back, so it gets points for that. The pluggy parts fold up so it fits nicely in a bag without any pokey bits sticking into your butt. And there's 3 charging holes on top, so you can plug in the deck and your phone and your Miu Mini all at the same time. The Steam Deck's charger is only 45 watts, but this retro charger from SharGeek is 67 watts. So it can do fast charging, multiple devices, with whatever you need. And look at this. When you plug it in, it has a display that shows how many watts are being used by your devices. How freaking cool is that? And they also sent the matching retro cord. I leave my deck's charger plugged into the dock, and this one goes with me when I leave the house on those rare occasions when I do that. And then this company, they also sent me this power bank. This is the Storm 2 bank, and it's freaking nuts. First of all, it's badass looking. I love that you can see the guts inside. And it has a matching USB-C cable, of course. And it has a tiny, beautiful, sharp IPS screen with an actual menu that you can use. So you can monitor the charging capacity, the uptime, the time until drain, how many watts are being pulled, monitor the temperature. Then in the menu, you can do things like change the units, set a timer, manually adjust the voltage. It supports all the charging standards that you'd ever want. You need a 100 watt USB-C port equipped with PD 3.0 PPS fast charging for your laptop. No problem, you got that here. So obviously it works great with the deck and every other freaking device that you'd ever carry with you. You can charge them all at once. And the best part is that this battery bank is 25,600 milliamp hours. This thing can charge the deck fully almost 5 times on a single charge. Like, that's nuts. So this thing lives in my tech bag, and whenever I go somewhere, I have all the juice that I need, so I never need to be tethered to a wall. And if I do need to charge this up, I could do that with this retro charging block. I can't recommend these enough. They sent these to me, but I'm telling you, honestly, I'd absolutely buy these again if I ever needed to. The keyboard and mouse that I use with my deck is nothing special. I got a new mechanical keyboard for my main workstation, the Keychron K10, which I love. So my old keyboard is now pretty much permanently attached to my Steam Deck dock. This is the EUSO mechanical keyboard. It's not fancy. It's like 25 bucks on Amazon, but I freaking love this keyboard. It has linear red switches and they feel really nice for both typing and gaming. It's small and compact, so it doesn't take up a ton of room on the desk. And the best part about it is these fun little retro keycaps that I added. And the mouse that I use is this. It's a Corsair Harpoon RBG mouse, which again is the old mouse from my main PC. I highly recommend this keyboard. It's amazing for the price and it has a cool look to it, but I do not recommend this mouse. I've had to RMA it several times because the clicking buttons wear out. It's a node issue, and then they keep fixing it and sending it back, and then it eventually dies again. I just got this one back for the 3rd time, but I fully expect that it'll fail again. And next time it'll be out of warranty, so I'm just using it here with my deck until it dies. I love the look of it. I love the way it feels, how it performs, the size and shape. It's perfect for me in so many ways, but I just can't recommend it because of this quality issue. The keyboard is good though. For the price, you can't beat this thing. Next up, I have another SD card, but this one came with stuff on it. So I've done a bunch of videos about these emulation hard drive products. They usually come with either Batocera or Retrobat or Launchbox, and they're loaded up with ROMs and emulators. So it's a sort of a plug and play emulation solution. None of them work with the deck, but this does. It's a MicroSD card preloaded with Batocera configured for the Steam Deck with all the emulators and over 43,000 retro games all set up and ready to rock. It's only 256 gigabytes, so it's not going to have a ton of higher end games, but it does have a good collection of stuff. The way this works is you can shove this in the SD card hole of the deck and then boot the deck while holding the volume down button. This will bring up the boot manager and you can choose the SD card as the boot device. And then it'll boot up and you'll be in Batocera and you can browse through the game lists and pick your retro games and play your games. And it's all configured, ready to go. It has all the games from the older systems like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, all the arcade games. These are good ROM sets too, complete, clean, with no dupes. And then it has a bunch of games from the 3D systems like PS1, Sega Saturn, PSP, PS2, GameCube, and Dreamcast. It's a great collection. It's really well put together. This comes ready to use. You just plug it in, boot to the card, and start playing your games. I like setting up emulators and organizing ROMs, but even for me, this is like a shortcut. I haven't bothered making my own version of this because this one's pretty much good to go as it is. I'm actually really excited to show you this one. It's an innocn 3.3-inch OLED portable monitor. I love this thing for the deck. The company that makes this offered to send it to me, but their only requirement was that I use it in a video. However, I think you'll be seeing it in a few videos because I freaking love it. I plopped it on my desk and plugged it into my dock, and I've loved having this as a monitor for the deck so that I don't have to be constantly swapping my PC's monitor back and forth between the deck and the computer. And because it's a portable monitor, if I go out, I could toss this in my tech bag and bring it with me if I think I'll be able to use it. Actually, this happened the other day. I went to visit my friend at their cottage, and I brought the Steam Deck and this monitor just so we could play Jackbox, and it worked great. It has built-in speakers too. They're not super loud, but for my needs, it gets the job done. And the best part is that it's an OLED monitor with a 100,000 to 1 contrast ratio and 100% DCI-P3 color gamut. Monitor nerds will know what that means, but basically it's super crisp with bright whites and inky blacks, and it has amazing bright saturated colors. It also has a 1 millisecond response time, so it's great for gaming. It's only 60 Hz, but realistically the vast majority of stuff you'll be playing on the deck is gonna run at 60 Hz or less, right? This is honestly, hands down, the nicest display that I've ever seen with my own eyes. The video doesn't do it justice, trust me. And it makes everything that I'm doing on the deck just look freaking beautiful. Okay. So this actually took way longer than I thought it would to go through all this stuff. So thanks for sticking around to the end. And I'd love to know about your favorite Steam Deck accessories. What fun things have you found that have enhanced your life as a Steam Deck mommy or daddy? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, click the thumbs up button if you like the video. Or don't if you didn't. Consider supporting me on Patreon if you do that sort of thing. There's a link below. And that's it from me. I guess I'm TechDweeb. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.